Hi everyone, I'm Chef Dennis and welcome to Good Day Google Plus. And we have a great show for you today. A lot of people in the film strip to say hello to and to talk to, and it's going to be a lively group. We've already just had a nice discussion about Maggie's bacon popcorn in the green room.
It's delicious. Just think about it, bacon and popcorn. It's like best of both worlds.
I hear you, and you're going to be making a special cocktail for us today for
Yes.
your segment of the show. And I'm so happy that you can do that. And like I said, we were saying Maggie's taking one for the team because it's only 10 a.m. in the Pacific time zone, and we don't want to. Hopefully, won't turn you into an alcoholic by drinking this time of the day. I'd have to have your show broadcasting from a 12-step program at the Betty Ford Clinic.
Trust me, it's an addiction I'm okay with.
Okay, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. All right, so what we're going to do today is I'm just going to say hi to everyone, and then we're going to come back and we will ask our guests, what they're doing Google Plus, what they do outside of Google Plus, anything they want to talk about. And it's a good opportunity for you to get to meet some people, say hi to them, and just enjoy the company today on a nice leisurely Friday afternoon. So let's get started with this, and I'm just going to hop right next to me, and I have a new guest for me, and it's somebody I just met recently, and I'm going to say hi to my friend Rosie Battista, and Sleeping Naked After 40.
Hi.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot of fun.
I bet it is. We're going to get back to you. We're going to talk more about this, but that name, as soon as I saw that, I says, I think I found a new friend. Okay, so although mine is to be Sleeping Naked After 60, which might not be as much fun. So, at least for anybody that sees me. So we're going to leave that alone. We're going to turn now to Mark Vang. How you doing, Mark? Good to
Hey,
see
Chef
you.
Dennis.
Thanks for coming on. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been, well, I think my previous appearances were like last-minute stand-ins for Mark Traphagen, so, he's probably, crying on the sidelines today, and I must be a made man, right? I get a personal invite now, so, but for a while there, we were Mark and the other Mark, and, since we are so similar,
Yes.
pulled me right in, so.
Well, I'm glad you came on today, and it was a straightforward invite, no secondhand ones for us. So thank you so much for dropping by.
Thanks, Dennis.
And then, of course, we already talked to Maggie, and Maggie's going to bring us back later in a bit. I want to say hi to Dennis Duce, Dennis 2 as we like to refer to each other.
Yeah, our own little inside joke. You're D1 or Dennis 1, and I'm Dennis 2 or Dennis Duce.
So, which works for you too, since you are the Duce. It was a perfect.
It does. Yes. My name means two things.
So thank you so much. You had a little problem with the electric today, I heard, and for finding a spot where you could broadcast from. I appreciate it.
Yeah, power's out at my house, so I'm boring a cubicle at a friend's startup company.
Cool. Very nice. And, of course, we have B.L. Ochman here, and glad you could join us. And I was just on your show Saturday. I was excited about that.
You were, and it was great to have you there, and I'm so happy to be here. I watch every week, and being part of it is so much fun. And what I do is I teach people how to do live events and produce live events on YouTube and Google Plus, and do Hangouts all day, many days.
Absolutely. I know we're all on here too much. When Rosie first pinged me, she said, about meeting. He says, "What, do you on the computer all day?" And I went, "Yeah, pretty much." Okay, so just ping me when you have time. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. I have been trying to get off by like 5 o'clock every day now, though. It's been difficult, but I've been, I don't take meetings unless it's really something important because my wife has been putting up with a lot. And in fact, she went away this weekend because I have my conference starting tonight at 8 p.m. And Maggie, I think you're going to join us for that, I hope, too. Do some more drinking.
More drinking. All for you, Chef.
Absolutely.
You will personally fund my stay at the Betty Ford.
I know. Don't worry. I know. We'll have to get you sponsors for that. Brought to you.
Oh, got you sponsors.
Maggie at the Betty Ford Clinic. Okay.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
With that said, can I do my cocktail?
Absolutely. Are you ready?
I'm totally ready. So, how this started is okay. So I don't know why I do this, but I always do this. I always have my little my little towel here. Anyway, so I am making for you a XXX sunrise surprise. And why it's XXX is if you drink enough of these, you'll find out. So, all right. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is I am going to be putting in here my simple syrup. Now, this is a skinny cocktail. So my simple syrup is a little bit simpler than the syrup that we normally use. This is water that's been not boiling, but it's just warm to the point where it can dissolve something like stevia or simple syrup. Or simple syrup, what's it called? Sweet and low. There you go.
Have you been trying one in the green room in prep for this one, or is this your first one of the day?
This is my first one of the day, yes.
Oh, okay.
This is au natural over here. Okay, I'm also putting in some mint, and I'm going to put 3 of these little guys in here.
You know, that's a great idea. I never thought of using a sugar substitute for simple syrup.
Yeah, and calories, completely less. And you know right now that I'm filming, I'm putting together a series of skinny cocktails because it's the summer, and there's the beach, and it's swimsuit season. So we need to keep our girlish figures going, right, Chef?
Yeah, I know. I'm working on that one.
Anyways, so I was just muddling the mint that I put in here. And so here's something else that's going to keep it skinny. I'm putting in here some of this orange mango, 0 calories with vitamins. So it's kind of healthy.
I love it.
All right, so I'm putting some of that in here. And I'm also adding some lemon. And I don't know why, I just keep on going into Spanish. Whenever I think about this, I'm like, y ahora le voy a poner un poquito de limón. Okay.
I can translate if you need.
So lemon. Ooh, who speaks Spanish in here?
Yo puedo hablar español. Viví en Argentina.
No kidding, Dennis! You're totally impressing me right now. Okay, this is a neat translation. This is some tequila. Now, since it's the morning, I'm just going to put just a little bit in here, not too much. I don't want to get to the Betty Ford Clinic all too like today. Okay, ice. So ice, baby. Okay. Now I have done this a million times where I've just not popped this on, and it's just yeah, I know. So a little shake, and I got a glass. Where's my glass? Voila. Look at how pretty the color.
Wow, that is gorgeous.
Yes. You know, it's a cloudy day in San Diego. Well, it's like that. We have June gloom. June gloom. Okay. And of course, it's delicious. Oh, and I'm going to put the XXX Sunrise Surprise. The recipe is going on my blog. The blog address is down here somewhere, but it will be up there by the end of the day.
Maybe you can pop the link to your blog in the comment section later so they know where to go with it.
Yes, sir. All right. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. All right. Maggie's going to get toasty here for us as we move on. And so now we're going to jump back. Since we've done the cocktail segment, it's time to talk to Rosie then, because we need to learn more about sleeping naked after 40. So hit us with it.
Okay. Well, what do you want to know?
I know the basics. You get out of your clothes and you get in bed. But now let's talk about what you do on and off. You're just coming back to actually Google Plus. You were on for a while.
I had a show for a few months where we just had bunches of entrepreneurial people and just kind of hung out and shared ideas and created possibility and things like that. And it was kind of cool. But then, I had a partner and we decided, well, let's focus on our main business and let that go for a while. And then I just started to say, well, what am I doing on Facebook? Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, it's the F word.
But I mean, it's not as effective for me anymore. And where can I reach a broader people? And where can I actually have these amazing hangouts that are so much fun? So I started having Sunday night dinners with my family, my sister in California and my mom in Florida. And we just have a great time. We're like drawing all over each other's faces and just kind of hanging out. So it's amazing. And so now I'm going to be doing that with my clients, and I'm going to do a live streaming show, and I have a lot of things that I want to do.
You also do cooking shows too, don't you? You have a
Oh,
cooking.
I do. I've done like over 250 cooking videos. But my style of cooking, so it's sleeping naked after 40, cooking naked after 40. I use food in its most natural form. So anything without a label, anything unprocessed. So like when I make pudding, it would be a date, an avocado, and some raw cacao. And so that's pretty much mix that all together in a blender, and then I have pudding. So all of my things are like that. So I do like, if I do a dressing, it's cashews and maybe some dates and maybe a little vinegar. So very, very simple, but not so common things that you make. So that I have no inflammatories in my food, so that it's really getting people healthy off of sugar and off of anything that's like off of gluten, off of dairy. So, yeah.
Yeah, keep it naked.
Keep it naked. Yeah.
Hashtag keep it naked.
Yeah.
Well, that's like kind of my wife knew that concept right away, because when we were talking the other day and I said, yeah, something about sleeping naked, of course she heard that. She can be halfway across the house, but she heard that. But then when I said you were the naked, you're cooking naked, she goes, oh, like the naked chef.
Yeah. And then the whole concept of sleeping naked after 40 is the bigger concept, in that really getting naked with who you really are. So when you start to eat better and you get off sugar and you get less like distracted from things, and also after you get to be a certain age, you start to say, hey, what is it that I'm really doing here, and what do I really want, and what's not serving me anymore, what's toxic in my life, and getting rid of all that and getting like naked with the idea of who you really are. It's kind of a self-discovery thing. So it's really cool. It's been really cool. I love it.
Sounds like a very good concept and something we could all use to be happier and healthier.
Yep.
Very good. All right, so let's move on to Mark. Mark, what you been doing exciting on Google Plus or off Google Plus?
Wow. Well, I don't know if I do much stuff off Google Plus because I'm a bit of a computer geek. So I mean, this is my cocktail and crack and heroin and everything is Google Plus. So I'm on here 12 hours a day, but I've got the Sanctuary Networking community, and I've got Beth Browning there is now going to co-produce our Hangouts on air, so that'll make things interesting. We got some really cool events coming up over there, and I run the HOA calendar, which is kind of promoting everybody else's HOA shows, and that's kind of taking off, and I'm looking at ways to hit wider markets with that. So that's kind of my fun geeky project, because I don't really. The idea is to make it so I can promote as many shows to as many social platforms in 2 mouse clicks or something like that. The least amount of manual intervention on my part, because there's, if I was trying to promote 20 shows a day, I would spend all day, sharing shows and stuff. So the idea is to build what I call social media machine that handles all of the switching and making decisions on what goes to what platform all on its own. And makes it very easy. Of course, it makes it look like I'm very busy all day sharing shows. And, my God, Mark, how does he keep up that schedule? He's running these communities and doing this. I just link it all together, and then I go goof off, play with Prince or something like that.
I'm sure. Well, there's always something to do on Google Plus. Someone to talk to them. People are pinging you all day, I'm sure, just as, as I get them. I went to take a nap yesterday and I had a ping. I can't ignore this person, so I had to get up. So no nap for me yesterday.
Right.
I was a cranky chef.
Well, I do turn off the computer at about 7 or 8, and that's it. So after that, because I get up at about 5 a.m., so I'm on, because I have a lot of my connections are in England and stuff like that. I don't know why, but a lot of folks over in the UK seem to have adopted me. And so I get up extra early to make sure that I'm available to them if they have a question or something like that, which is still late in the morning for them. But yeah, I do hit a point, we were talking about this, where it's just like I just power down the machines, because I know if they're sitting there and I hear a little noise, I'm going to have to come over and look at it. Now I'm going to be stuck in it for another hour doing something. So I finally got the discipline at age 50 to turn off the computer and go do something else. But it took me 50 years to get to that point. So.
I'm still trying to learn that. I haven't gotten that. That's for sure. But I do take my morning in the park with my dog every day. I don't care what else is going on. I start my day promptly at 11, because I've always wondered, who said 9 o'clock was such a big deal. So I'm here at 11, but I'm also usually here at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I've kind of turned. I've been trying to stop at 5 every day, because that's when I'll go in to start making dinner too. Yeah, and that's my segue out of the computer. although I don't always turn it off, and I may come back to it before I go to bed, which is probably the worst thing to do because then my mind gets all agitated. But I have been trying to step away so my wife doesn't miss me completely.
It's so bad for me, Dennis, that if I even leave my mic plugged in, which has a blue LED, somehow my brain has been cued to blue as the color of electronic devices. I can't have that on up against the wall, or I can't sleep at night because I'm constantly tuned in to what's going on with that equipment. So I have to shut everything down so there's no fan noise, there's no LEDs, there's no hard drive clicking, because anything like that is going to make me go, what's going on? I got to go look at that. So
I even have these yellow glasses that I wear at night, like for the last 2 hours that I'm in front of the computer, because that's supposed to help you be able to sleep by blocking blue rays or something.
Has it helped?
Yeah, it actually does.
Wow.
neat. Okay.
Yeah, I have a pair of those as well. They also make your eyes kind of not so tired if you're working for a long time.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, do you have a pair to show?
No.
No, I could go get them. I'll go get them.
Are they prescription then, or would they just go?
No, they're like about $8. They're really not a big deal. I'll go get them. I'll be right back.
We're talking like the blue blockers you see on TV? No?
Well,
I
anyway,
was going to say, you got to see
they're-
that on the commercial,
No, they're just a light yellow color. You can get them at like any, Office Max,
oh,
Wow.
Office Depot. And they do have them for like minor reading because, I'm 45 and so they have a
the
slight...
time your arms get too short to hold the book.
Exactly, and I've reached that point in the last 5 years. It's horrible.
Maggie's
So
laughing because she doesn't know anything about it yet.
You're only 45, Dennis.
We
When
don't
you
make classes for that.
get to 50, your internal organs start shutting down, so you have that to look forward to, right, Dennis?
Oh, whoa.
I don't even want to tell you about what happens when you hit 60. So.
Oh, boy.
See, here's the glasses,
Ooh.
and I think they're like
Oh, wow.
$8. And they just block the blue light from the computer. And the blue blocker sunglasses do that in sunlight, but these do it in computer light.
Nice.
Your computer's like a 20-watt light bulb, so if you think about it, you're staring at a light bulb all day long, and that's not good for you. And I got 3 of them here, so,
Jeez.
probably lucky
Well,
I can
that's
see
good
it
to know.
all.
So I'm going to be getting a pair of them, checking them out. Here we have a comment from, while we're here, Carmen, I have yellow sunglasses, and it really does relax your eyes a lot in the sun. I never thought of it for those terms. Huh, how about that? But no, let me throw up another few comments here while we're here. Kevin Burns is in the house. It's Vendredi. All right, somebody pronounce that for me.
Vendredi. It's French. It's French. It's Friday. He says vendredi is French, and he says we're all.
I was just trying to pronounce it properly. We're all Maggie's warming up the party. Okay, it's always good. And Christopher Vogelman, he was stuck in Italian mode. Dennis Duce, salute or chin chin.
Chin chin.
And Sue Aston, Rosie Battista, perhaps having that sticky toffee pudding with chocolate ice cream at lunchtime was a mistake. Only because you did not share it with us. That's all.
Yeah, your mistake was telling us that. Now we're going to come get you. So.
Yeah. And she's still skinny as can be and plays a lovely violin. So maybe that extra sugar helps her pop out those beautiful songs she does. All right, so let's move on to Dennis Duce. How you doing, buddy? What's good on the plus for you? What have you been doing lately?
Oh, I've been really busy. So actually, Sue Aston makes for a perfect segue because with the project that I'm doing with Christine DeGraff, the Bandwidth Hangout on Air on My Music Hangout, we are doing a number of things this weekend, and all of them include Phil and Sue Aston. On Sunday, we're doing a special simulcast Bandwidth-produced Sue Aston show, combining the 2 shows, which is going to be really fun. And unfortunately, because of family commitments, I won't be able to be on the film strip the whole time, but I'm going to try and pop in from my cell phone. This weekend, starting in about 40 minutes, I believe, Christine and I, in conjunction with Alex from Glass in the Class, Alex and John from the Glass in the Class project, are doing something absolutely ridiculously amazing. We are going to broadcast live from the Summer Festival music concert, which is the biggest music concert in North America. School of Rock has, within the 14-day thing, they have 3 days of it that is the Battle of the Bands for all of the students of School of Rock all over the world. And we're broadcasting that thing for 3 days. Like, I think we'll have a total of about, I don't know, 20 to 30 hours of broadcasting by the time we close down Sunday night. I've tried to see, I think it's the longest series of HOA broadcasting ever. Google couldn't give me anything longer, but I don't know that for a fact.
How long are each segment going to be?
Well, the biggest one is going to be today. Today's segment will be about 12 hours. So needless to say, it's not actually a Hangout on air. It's just going to look to you like it is. We're running it on YouTube as a YouTube live broadcast and embedding the YouTube code into the HOA event in order to get past the 8 hours. That's the only way we can do it, right? So, yeah, so it's 12 hours today.
Wow.
And then tomorrow afternoon, we've got some, an impromptu thing going on. We got interviews. We got like 12 different judges that are all like well-known rock stars, people who have played guitar for David Bowie for 15 years and who are the judges for this event. We're going to be interviewing them. We're going to be interviewing the kids. We're going to be broadcasting the kids playing, all sorts of stuff.
I think we have a School of Rock in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken, and I know we had one in Philadelphia, because I remember seeing that. So
how are you going to do this? Are you going to do this with multiple cameras? What's your? I mean, can we get a little geeky here? What's your?
We can get really geeky. I'm normally on the bandwidth shows. I handle all the geeky. On this one, I'm not. John Ellis from SEO Wise, but through the EBN network, which, Dennis, you're part of EBN, aren't you?
I think so.
I know Larry is.
He does my shows. He does my shows. He's awesome.
John does. Yeah.
Yeah, John.
So John's doing the geek on this particular one only because the geek has to be the man on the ground, and he's there this weekend. But yeah, we're going to have multiple cameras. We're using some really high-tech stuff, so we're going to be able to show picture-in-picture imagery. We'll have video clips that we're going to be pulling in from various places and playing those within the thing, including using glass in the class. There's even been some talk about Alex's glass going on some of the rock stars. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not, but we may actually get some glass footage from the standpoint of the singer, which would be sick. The concern is that we've got rock stars and they're under 20, and we got $2,000 worth of equipment on their face.
Wow.
There's a potential question mark there, so we're not sure if that's going to happen or not. But
if they were over 20, it might even be worse.
That's true, yeah. And if they were over like 60, then you're basically talking about, the Rolling Stones, and that is absolutely as bad as it gets. So
let me tell you, it's not, because I went to a production at Epcot with some of the older bands, and I saw Paul Revere, and that was about as bad as it got. So it was not a happy day.
So Dennis, I'm curious, have you had a chance to look at some of the stuff Mark Timberlake's been putting out? He did like a whole tour of his. He does video production, so he has a studio, but he's done like a thing where he showed how his green screen works, and he tells all about the software he's using and everything. So I mean, he's beyond. He's a few steps beyond the level I'm going to hit this year. But he pretty much lays out all the gear and everything. It's real interesting that he's very open with that. He had a audio expander set up to remove noise, and I'm trying to determine if I can use that, so when I have Prince in here and he's squeaking, if I can filter out the exact frequencies of cockatiel calls, so he can stay in the office while I'm doing HOAs. And
you'd need a mixing board to do that. An expander is just going to stop clipping. Things like that, the high ends of that or the really low ends that get too strong for the signal to really carry. It just shortens those out in a controlled manner. You can do that with a mixing board, but that's really hard, and then the sound is lousy. So you put it through a mixing board, then through an expander, and the expander is going to capture that stuff as it happens so that you don't get that.
So Dennis, help me understand this. You're going to have one person on the ground, and they're going to broadcast continuously for 12 hours? Not from one spot.
We got multiple people on the ground.
Oh, okay. I couldn't figure out how one person could do that.
Yeah, so most of the production is going to be done by John Ellis. But Alex is going to be there. There's a couple of other people from School of Rock that are also going to be doing interviewing and such. All of the kids from the program have been taught how to upload their content to a place that John has access to it. So every one of the kids is now, they run into somebody they want to interview. They could interview them with their cell phone and load this up, and John is going to have access to it, decide if it's good, put it in if he wants to.
So it won't be live. You won't do everything as it happens. You'll be curating the content?
Some is going to be live, some is going to be curated, and there's going to be some that is hyper-curated that you'll see sometime in the next 3 to 6 weeks, where John's really going to do some cool post-production stuff. So, a little bit of everything.
Can't wait to see.
Sounds like it's going to be an amazing weekend.
Yeah, it is. We're going to have fun.
All right, well, let's move over to BL then, and we'll talk to you a little bit about some of your projects, what you got going on, or you said you were in the park this morning. That's part of your routine.
Well, I have a giant Labradoodle, and he needs exercise. So every morning we go to Central Park, and at the moment, enjoy the smell of the linden trees. Oh my God, it's so heady. But what I've been doing for work is I recently did the first of a series of virtual field trips for 5 fifth grade classes at a school in Kentucky. And they interviewed the founder of the Foodini, which is the 3D printing machine that can print your dinner. And it prints both sweet and savory, and it does it rather quickly. So the kids made it a school project where they studied 3D printing, they studied about entrepreneurship, and then we had 5 classrooms in the Hangout, 120 kids, and they asked their questions, and they blew me away. These are 5th graders, they're 10 years old, and their questions were just so smart and so informed that, it was rather amazing. And we're going to do 10 more of those in that school next year, and also doing some coaching with professionals in the law field. And so there's a lot going on, and some of it I can't talk about yet, but and I'm keeping up my blog. I blog at whatsnextblog.com, and I write for Ad Age, and the days go by really fast.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Well, it sounds like you're keeping pretty busy. And your show, of course, on Saturday.
Yeah, tomorrow. Scott Scowcroft's our guest tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Scott treatment at 12:30.
He is brilliant.
It's a radio show. And I just want to brag a little. We got put in a list of 25 top social media YouTube channels. So I thought that was pretty cool. We're in there with some pretty heavy hitters. I thought, wow, that's very nice.
Excellent. Great job. So, we have a pretty diverse group today on the panel, and I'm happy to see it. If you guys have any questions for any of our guests, please put them in the comment tracker, and we're going to get to them. I'm going to shout out make a few more comments here. Christopher Volman, troops on the ground, no airstrikes on this show, right? Let's hope not. Joe Ray, I went to Central Park every Sunday for 5 years when I lived there. I like to just watch and meet all the peeps. It is nice just to watch.
Yeah.
Phil Aston's in the house. Sounds fab. Dennis Duce looking forward to, is that Gemba? Is that how you pronounce it?
Gemba.
Gemba 2014. And Christopher Vogelman was asking exactly what I was thinking. Can we use 3D printing to make cocktails?
Printed to make cocktails.
Actually, you could. You could. It could definitely be done, and they'd be really pretty.
Now, how does this work with food? I'd like to hear a little bit more about this.
Well, this particular machine is going to be a countertop machine that's going to go next to your microwave in a few years. And it has these stainless steel tubes. And let's say you're going to make a pizza. You put the flour in one tube and the water in another tube and the tomato sauce in another tube and the cheese in another. And then basically it's a model maker. That's what 3D printing is. And it then prints it out in layers. So let's say you're making a pizza as you watch it. And in this case, it just takes a few minutes with Foodini. You will see it be made into a pizza, and if you wanted that pizza to be shaped like a whale, if the software was programmed to do it that way, it would be done that way. Right now, it doesn't cook the food. You have to take what it's printed and put it in the oven, but when the 2.0 version of it comes about, when it is actually sold for household use, which is only going to cost about $1,300 from what they told us, then it will actually make the food. It will cook it, which is pretty cool. But I was at the 3D printing show in New York, and there was a guy who decided that he would print not only his food, but his knives, his forks, his napkins, and it took him like 11 days. So, that's just ridiculous.
That is awesome.
It's a whole new diet program.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about skinny cocktails, skinny pizzas.
Yeah, right.
Freaky. I'm gonna have to see it. I may not own one, but I definitely have to see it because I don't have a microwave. Number one, but and that always freaks everybody out. Like when they were doing my last kitchen before we moved, they says, "Where do you want your microwave?" I says, "I don't want a microwave." So thank you. So
mine is like Manhattan mini storage. I have all kinds of stuff in there. I never use the thing.
Oh, you want to hear this, Chef? I didn't have a microwave for the longest time. And then my dad got me a microwave, and it was this old microwave, and he stuck it on there because he said, "I know you like popcorn." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, popcorn." And that was the only time I ever used it. Then I found out, microwaves. It's like, bad for you. So I stopped using it. So it just sits there. It's on my counter, and I just need somebody to, if anybody wants a microwave, because it just doesn't taste, I love making my own popcorn. Well, hold on, we're going back to the beginning, right? So bacon popcorn, you guys have to try it. If you haven't tried bacon popcorn, oh my God, it's one of my favorite things.
Tell us about how you made it. Talk us about how you made it.
The bacon popcorn? Oh yeah, well it's on my blog. I'll put this recipe on there too. And I did it, my very first show ever, when I jumped on an HOA. I was an HOA virgin at the time. I made bacon popcorn, and so basically you take bacon and you chop it up into little tiny pieces, and you cook it into a big stock pot, and you you render out the fat. So you cook the bacon, remove the bacon, leave the fat in the pot, and add your popcorn kernels. So then you just make and then you just make your popcorn. And the crazy thing about it is that my son loves this popcorn because it tastes like popcorn. Oh wait, so hold on. So then I make I melt some butter, add the bacon that I cooked, add the bacon into the butter. I also add cumin, and it's sweet. I add brown sugar. Sorry. I'm drinking, people. So that's that one thing called, sugar. I add a little bit of cayenne if I'm making it for myself. If I'm making it for the little guy, I take out the cayenne. He can't handle that kind of stuff. Anyways, okay, so I've got this little thing. Mix it all together, and you have deliciousness. Oh, wait, I forgot salt. So you add salt, too.
I think that's like a paleo. Paleo can eat that because it's bacon and the butter.
Oh. Yeah, it's paleo friendly.
I'm a pescatarian, but I eat bacon because I consider bacon to be a vegetable.
Oh,
that's
necessary
a good
food
way of
group. Yeah, a necessary food group in my diet. I love popcorn actually. I make popcorn probably. Oh God, I can't believe I'm admitting this on your show here, Jeff. But about 3-4 times a week minimum.
Wow.
I make it on the stovetop. I don't do it in the microwave. I consider that really.
I agree. You know,
Yeah.
do you ever pop it in coconut oil, Maggie? It's so good.
Yeah. In fact, my last pop. Okay, so you guys have to check out my blog. I keep promoting my blog. What can I say? But there's another popcorn recipe on there. It's curry popcorn, and I make it with coconut oil. I put coconut oil on everything, like on my skin, on my hair.
I actually wash my face with it now too. It takes off mascara and everything. It's the only. I don't use any other product but coconut oil now. Awesome.
Have you tried argan oil?
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes.
And then there's another one. I just got it from Whole Foods. The Whole Foods lady convinced me. It was I want to call it Macuna oil or Manakua. Someone on the comment stream help me. It's great. It smells a little funky though, but it has that same Well, anyways, but yeah, I mixed the argan oil, the coconut oil, and the Mancuga oil, whatever it's called. And I put it on my face, and my face was all nice and shiny and gleamy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Coconut oil. But did you say you wash your face with it?
Yeah. I use it as the wash and also as the, but you don't really have to put the moisture, you don't have to do anything else after you wash your face with it. Just put it on and rub it, and then take a really warm cloth and rub it off. It's amazing. Mascara comes off, makeup comes off, everything.
I've seen people make scrubs with the coconut oil.
Yeah.
I even admit to I used to have a coconut oil on my sink when I had some real skin issues, and I was putting it on my face every day.
Did it help?
For me, okay, so my hair, I mean, okay, it gets really dry really fast. So I put on the coconut oil and just use it as a conditioner.
Yeah.
And it can't. There's nothing that conditions us better than
Mark
coconut
does
oil.
that too, right?
Have you tried shaving with it? Shaving with olive oil? I mean, mainly Dennis and Chef Dennis and Dennis, not the ladies there.
Yes, it's very smooth, very close shave.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Mark. I haven't thought of that.
It's actually really interesting because you know, I shave, I can feel the tugging, so it feels like you're getting a rough shave, but it's really, really a smooth, close shave. It's a little messy though, since it's olive oil. But you know, there's sometimes, and I tend to get a little irritated with shaving and stuff like that. I get no irritation from that. So every once in a while, I treat myself to a messy olive oil shave. I found it on YouTube, so it must be good, right? I mean, you know, nobody would make a video about it if it wasn't good.
Here's BL just popped up Sue Aston saying she could send over some of her rock buns in a digital format. No, I asked because she keeps mentioning her rock buns, and I don't think buns means the same thing in the UK as it does in the US. So we'll just leave that one there. We won't talk anymore about it.
She might need her rock buns.
Well, I asked for Phil to verify their excellence, and she said he would be very happy to. So.
Who's the young lady from Greece who does all the exercise infographics? And gosh, I can't remember her name now. She's got nobody? No, you're all foodies, so none of you follow any exercise people. Very interesting. What? Exercise people? What are they talking about? All right. Well, anyway, I can't remember her name. That's too bad, because I was going to segue into a rock buns joke for the exercise thing, and you know, I blew the setup.
I exercise. I'm a swing dancer. I do that several times a week, so I don't need the exercise video.
What kind of swing do you dance to, BL?
Well, East Coast swing, Savoy Lindy Hop, big band music.
Fun.
And right now in New York, the Midsummer Night Swing is happening outdoors at Lincoln Center. And the other night there was, I think it was a 16-piece band, and it was the most beautiful night in the history of the world. And there were maybe 500 people out there dancing. It's so much fun.
You can just show up there like that and just dance?
Well, yeah. If you could choose to dance on the plaza, or you could buy a pass and dance on a wooden floor so you don't kill your knees. And
nice. Wow, how fun. Or you could just watch, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you could, but I mean, you could dance to live music in New York every night of the week if you know where, and there's wonderful, wonderful swing bands, and there's a whole community of people, so everybody knows everybody.
Nice.
Well, and you get to wear your two-tone black and white shoes.
I sure do.
And
you have to earn those.
Nothing says swing like black and white two-tone shoes.
Suede
a few
bottoms.
things make me happier.
all this swinging talk. I need to have some more of my
Or-
Triple X sunrise.
That's the wrong kind of swinging, Maggie.
Oh, okay. Okay. In that case, I better put this down.
That's the problem with swing dancers. We don't drink, so like every time we find a place for a band to play, they don't want us there because we all drink water.
Keep hydrated.
Yes.
Here, Christopher Vogelman had a comment for, I guess, aimed at Maggie. A young lady, for Mark. A young lady from Greece or a lady full of bacon grease?
A young lady from Greece.
From Greece.
Yes. So I can't remember her name though, but now that's going to bug me. So you'll see a post from me in the comments after the show. But
well, for years it was Buns of Steel. Didn't they have those videos? I remember.
Oh yeah, Buns of Steel.
Rock buns.
rock hard abs, 6-pack abs.
Well, I saw a great picture of six-packs, and it had two guys that their stomachs were not even closed like mine, but they were pressed up against a wire fence, so it cut into them, and it made them look like...
Oh, love it. Love it.
Whole different kind of a six-pack there, so...
Well, you know, I prefer my kegger anyway.
There you go. No six-pack. You're carrying a keg.
It's
you got
so
it.
funny, you know, in the morning in Central Park, everybody is running. One-legged people are running. Dogs are running. I mean, everybody's running. And there's so many different styles of running. And there's so many people who run, like, with their bellies exposed. And, you know, I just wouldn't do that if I were them. But you do also see a lot of six-packs on the bridle path in the morning.
So I talk a lot about I'm like the honorary Coronado mayor because I talk so much about this island. And you see, I do paddleboarding. I love paddleboarding, and it's really good for your core. I don't have a six-pack yet. One day. One day. But anyway, so you see people doing some of the hang gliding, you know, kind of things. It's very active. But it's also the land of the SEALs, the Navy SEALs. This is where they train. So it's like eye candy central around here because you see guys and girls. Like the guys are just like, you know, the Navy SEALs running out there, and their bodies are just, yeah.
Maggie, you'd have to give up the popcorn and the bacon to have your six-pack abs.
Oh, no.
You know,
just take out the butter. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's a really hard decision right there.
Here, Phil Aston just verified that Sue Aston's rock buns are very tasty.
I told you.
I don't know, Dennis, if you saw that. Christopher Vogelman's six-packs are in the refrigerator.
Yeah, well, we can understand. Yeah, Christopher. Got it.
We're going to end up getting your YouTube channel shut down here, Jeff, if we're not too careful. I think there's enough content for YouTube's automated system to pick up on the sleeping and the sex and the alcohol, and there's probably an algorithm churning somewhere right now.
You can't drink on TV. I wonder if you can drink on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, because Monday night, Mia Voss and I are going to be for an hour as we take food and booze to a wine tasting event. So let's hope.
You'll find out.
Okay, we'll know the answer is no to that then, right?
Well, I have a whole channel on YouTube with wine reviews for my wine blog. So, and they haven't shut me down yet. But then again, I only have like 100 followers. Like it's just this little itty bitty thing. So please don't shut me down, YouTube.
There is a place to mark your content. Like, well, before you start the video, you mark it so it's
over 13 or 18 or
over 18. And then on our page, actually, for Food and Booze, there's a place to mark it as alcohol-related content.
Oh.
But what that does is it shuts down the comment tracker because your posts are no longer really public because then they don't allow them to be seen by everyone when you mark your content that way. So.
Right. Also gives a very odd message to people coming into your Hangout. I think the last time I saw it was something like this might be adult-oriented content or some weird phrasing like that. It's been a while since I've tested it that way, so they might have changed it. But it didn't say 18 or limited. It wasn't specific like that. It was like adult-oriented content. And I was like, that doesn't sound right at all. What am I getting into here? It was one of my own Hangouts I was testing, so I knew I wasn't going to come into something weird.
That was one of the. It's not the swing dancers. That was a different kind of swing.
Yeah.
That's good. We'll leave it that one too. So.
Swing dance is real G-rated, I got to tell you.
I did do some West Coast swing when I was doing country dancing. That was why I asked.
Well, a lot of people do West Coast swing, and yeah, I like it. I'm learning Balboa at the moment.
Rocky Balboa?
No, it's a dance.
Oh. All right. What else do we have here? Christopher Vogelman. We change content into malcontent. I like that. And they won't shut you down, Maggie Unzeta. They might raise their eyebrows with regard to daggers and hearts, a.k.a.
Yeah, did you see that review? Yeah, that review. You know what? I think that's when I first started talking to Christopher Vogelman, because yeah, a lot of people have gotten a lot of attention because of that video. The name of the wine is BITCH. So that's the name of the wine. I did not make this up. And on the label it has little hearts and daggers. Yeah, I can't make this stuff up.
Wasn't it Fat Bastard had a wine out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's.
I have a wine that I'm reviewing next 2 weeks. It's called Promiscuous.
Is that a promise, or is it just a?
Yeah, that's what it's called. It was actually.
Is that like a promise from the wine?
No, yeah.
So Maggie, where does the wine come from? Do people send it to you, or do you go out looking for it?
Some do. In fact, the one that I'm going to be drinking tonight, I swear I drink wine, I make cocktails, bacon, and popcorn. That's my life. Anyways, with that said,
watch the Navy SEALs run by.
And watch the Navy SEAls.
You're out there on the beach with a big
on my
bowl of
paddleboard
and a giant cooler of margaritas.
On the boat.
Don't swallow.
Oh boy. So yeah. I'm not going to go there. Steph, you are going to get. I'm so sorry. He's never going to invite me back onto his show. Yeah, G Plus is going to kick me out. So is YouTube. It was nice knowing you guys. So yeah, the wine that I have tonight is something that was sent to me. I get wine sent to me quite often. Yesterday I was on a Twitter chat with a very well-known winemaker, and it was so nice to talk to somebody who actually understood some of what goes into things like this. Well, this is tequila. Hold on, let's go back there. It's like erase. But yeah, the wine that I have tonight is called Four Vines. Four Vines sent me some wine. I haven't figured out which one I'm gonna do. They sent me an unoaked Chard. Remember, Chef, a couple weeks ago I talked about an unoaked. They sent me an unoaked, and they sent me 2 different kinds of Zinfandel. So I haven't popped them open yet. I have a lot of drinking to do, people. And a lot of things to post on my website.
Very good. That could be a new show for you, Maggie Unoaked.
Maggie Unoaked.
You could do a live video hangout of you writing your blog post smashed.
I think I'd go with uncorked, though.
Uncorked.
Wait, Margarita Maggie and her paddleboard. What is Christopher? Bar car? What car? What? That's Christopher Vogelman. I don't know if you guys can see it.
He's pretty funny.
He is.
He is. He's really funny. Really funny guy.
Got another one up here. Where was it? Let me find it. Kevin Burns had made a statement about you. Where is it? About your one-legged runner comment, and I missed that somewhere.
Where is this? Yes, the Promiscuous wine is a blend. It was. I really liked it. It was supposed to be up yesterday, but.
Well, of course, Promiscuous wine is a blend.
Oh, here it is. One-legged people are running.
I know.
We have another comedian to monitor.
Well, I'm sure they are. You know, I passed one guy that was running in our neighborhood before I left, moved from Jersey. I said, he's running a little strange, and then I noticed that he did have a prosthetic leg, and I'm going, oh my God, I don't even run. I have 2 legs. I should be ashamed of myself. Oh,
it's a pretty amazing thing. There's the Achilles, I don't know the second word of the running group, and they are absolutely astounding. I mean, really. You look at these guys and you say that. You say, like, oh, my God, like, look what they do and look how little we do. You know.
Well, you know, being here in a Navy town, you see people who've had, you know, have casualties or experience some kind of casualty, you know, missing arms or missing legs, and they're still out there and they're fit. I saw this guy; he did not have any arms, and he was out there with a bicycle. And this guy
they have these bikes. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible, and
it's amazing.
There are, you know, there are competitions, and they're absolutely amazing. So it makes you feel so lazy when you go by and you see these guys with the arm bikes and the whole thing. You know.
Do you mind if I do a quick screen share, Dennis?
Sure, go ahead.
I finally found my Greek goddess that I've been talking about here.
That's why he's been so quiet.
So you guys don't think, and don't worry, this is a safe stream here. This isn't. So there you go. There's Neela Ray. Okay. So that's who I was trying to talk to you about, and I don't know why she's not.
I've seen her.
She's not in my circles. What the heck, man? How did she get out of my circles?
I have seen her.
Gorgeous.
I know. She's going back in my circles right now.
Wait, what circle?
Potty circle?
I like that you put her in your active project circle. That might be dreaming.
That might have been a Freudian slip because I was just trying to get her into a circle very quickly without holding up the show, and yet subconsciously, yes, active project, sure, why not? But
well, thanks for posting this. And Carmen actually said too that there is a Caribbean island called Fat Virgen Gorda. So quite interesting. I hope it's a big enough island then.
It's a beautiful island. I've actually been there.
Have you really?
Yeah.
So Maggie, you're in a Navy town over there, is that correct? Because I'm over here in Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, yeah, no, San Diego is very Navy.
Oh, yes, well, that
and
would be. I didn't look
we
up.
also have, oh, sorry, what's that?
I didn't look up where you were from, so yeah, San Diego. Kind of hard to miss that one for.
Yeah. There we have like a bazillion Navy bases, and we also have Marines. The Marines are here too, over in Miramar.
Well, it was funny when I was a trucker, and I would travel around, and I would tell people I was from Virginia Beach or Norfolk. No matter where I went in the country, no matter what distribution center I was at or what factory, there'd be some guy. Oh yeah, when I was in the Navy, I was stationed at Norfolk. You know, it's almost like everybody was stationed at Norfolk for a little while, or so, and probably the same for San Diego. You know, if you're out west a little bit. So I always thought that was interesting. That no matter where I went, there was some sailor who was like, "Yeah, Norfolk, I've been there. I remember Virginia."
Mark, how did you go from being a truck driver to being a Google Plus maven here?
Well, I actually used to be a computer programmer, so I went programmer, truck driver, social media, whatever you want to call that. And so I just kind of came back to computers after taking a break from them for a few years. I kind of did my version of 7 years in Tibet, except I did it 7 years across country in the United States in a semi instead. So it was fun.
So is that where you're at now? You're back in Norfolk?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia Beach right now. Yeah.
What did you learn from being a truck driver?
Well, I got to see the whole country, so that's very interesting. And I think that we underestimate ourselves a lot as to the strength of the country and the character of the people, because when you meet the people who are running the country, you know, literally running the country on the commerce side of it, you understand how resilient it really is. It's easy to watch the news and think, oh, we're failing, everything is horrible, but not really if you get out and look around. You know, when you're driving a semi, you're not on a scenic tour, so every place I saw was like the back end of some city or warehouse district or something. But I find industrial architecture to be kind of fascinating. So that was more enjoyable to me than like going to look at the redwoods. Oh, I'm sure that would be fantastic. But you know, some people are cute into the nature part. But I was like, wow, here's a warehouse that's built out of brick that's like probably 100 years old, and they're still serving out of it, or I just find the whole process.
Those amazing truck stops, oh my God, they're incredible. They're like little cities.
And they all have Wi-Fi now too, so you can't escape the reach of the internet, even in your rig on the out in the truck stop.
That's scary. That's really scary.
Wait, you're watching You're live streaming shows while you're driving a truck?
I don't want to think about
No,
that.
I'm driving, no. I didn't even have a computer until like the last 2 years I drove. I didn't even have a cell phone for the first 4 years I drove. I was totally zero tech when I started. It took me over a year to buy a CB radio, so that's how low tech I was when I started out. I was like, no, don't want it. I kind of burned out programming for 5 years straight, and I was like, nope. If electrons flow through it, I don't want to see it.
That's so interesting, though, to get that kind of contrast. Like, that's a big contrast of life, right? So it's kind of, yeah, wow.
And did the bird travel with you, or he came later?
No, he was actually, when I moved back to Virginia Beach, he was part of Mom's family here, so he ended up kind of being adopted by me because he's the odd male. We have a mated pair, too. So him and I kind of bonded, and I set him up. He's got his own personal cage now, so he's with me now, or I'm with him. I'm never sure who's the boss, really.
How old?
Really, my dog has better Google Juice than most people's clients.
Right. Well, Prince does have his own page, so I could share the link to that. But he just listens to crazy music all day on Google Play. He doesn't really comment a lot. I use him for my Google Play account rather than bombard people on my mainstream with my wacky sense of music. I set up a special brand page just to harass. Then they can opt in and be like, oh my God, he's listening to disco and heavy metal, and what is going on with this guy? Lock him up. So, anyway.
That's pretty funny. I know I have quite an eclectic taste in music, and when I do listen to heavy metal, my wife keeps going, I'm glad I didn't know you when that was your mainstay. So,
right.
So from Bocelli to country and western to a little Racer X every now and then.
Little Bach, a little Mozart, that's nice too. That's the weird thing is I just cover the full range. Country music, I'll listen to anything, and I never really settled on a genre. So I don't know what that says about me. It means my friends usually don't. A lot of people I know are very genre specific with their music, and they're like, yeah, I like this kind of alternate whatever, and I'm like, well, I'm listening to Donna Summer right now, or God knows what, So I was a treat. I actually found Knock on Wood. I don't know if you remember that old. That's not Donna Summer though. That's I forget her name. I found that on YouTube.
I love that song. I know that song.
When I was growing up, that was like.
It's the disco days.
Yeah, disco days. Yeah. So that was a lot of that stuff. Isn't even you can't even get copies of it anymore. So so I thought that was a rare find. My classic music collection. So,
yes. Yeah, my wife loves classical. I'm not. I'll enjoy it. It's just not something I listen to a lot of. But I do. My iPod is full with so many interesting, strange music that I know when I put it on, unless I'm just listening to the '60s, my neighbor's got to go, "What the hell is he doing over there?" Because it'll go from Brooks and Dunn to John Doe, and back and forth. Maggie, you're muted unless you're trying to be muted.
No. I was saying something.
Oh, okay, I saw your lips moving, and I wasn't sure.
No, I wanted to tell you. So my kind of music. Yeah, I do enjoy different kinds of music, but I don't really know people. What they sing, or it's just like, oh, that's a good song, whatever. Anyways, my kind of music is more. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys my age here in a minute. Dance music. I think it has a lot to do with my time in Europe. I've spent a lot of time in Europe, so they listen to a lot of dance and electronic kind of music. Some people will call it techno, maybe. Anyway, so and here it's this glow sticks and pigtails. It's like a whole different culture. But don't get me wrong. When I first came back, you saw these people who were like, oh, let's go party. And now. I blog under In Mama Maggie's Kitchen. It's like the last thing you want to do as Mama Maggie is go to a rave or just somehow it doesn't kind of suit the two. I like the music. That's it. I like the music. But yeah. Anyways. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. I don't like to think a lot when I'm listening to music. It's entertainment to me. So a lot of people like very heavy music with a message, and I just sometimes I'm in the mood for that, but most of the time the idea of the music is to turn off higher functions for me and just give me either some sort of sound I can follow or something like that. So that's probably why some of my friends might think that my musical taste is a little immature, because I'm not, I don't don't communicate that way. I don't get the message through music that way.
I'm curious to know, does everybody listen to music while they're working? I do.
No.
I like silence. I have to have silence.
Really?
That's what I'm doing and where I'm at in the building. You know, if I'm outside, I have music on the porch, but inside, rarely. But when I was cooking, always.
Yeah. In the kitchen, always.
Yeah, when I was a chef, I had a CD player there, and I had a stack of CDs, and it was funny. I'd have on every now and then. I'd listen to country and western, so I'd have some Tejano on too. And my staff was almost always Mexican. In fact, my waitress staff had no idea I was half Mexican. So every now and then they'd say something, and I'd go about those Mexicans, and I'd go, and about us, what were you saying?
Yeah, I don't like the kind of music. I'm not a fan of it.
Oh.
And I'm Mexican, as you know.
I love Tejano. The accordion, you throw the accordion in there, and everything changes.
Now, the accordion works okay in tango music. Sorry, but yeah, it works there, but it's not working for me. Though I do love Argentina has a whole genre from the late 80s, early 90s that's called Euro rock.
I love that.
Basically, like 80s music with Spanish words. Oh, yeah, I have two different Pandora channels that tune me back into my days in Argentina. My kids were like,
Cadillacs. Love Fabulosos Cadillacs. Those are,
yes. Los Ananitos Verdes.
Love them.
Yeah.
Oh, Dennis, you just bumped up like 2 notches right now.
So what's that put him at, 3?
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Burn.
Tango, Dennis?
Pardon?
Do you tango?
I have taken some tango lessons, and that was with my first wife, and that was very stressful.
Tango is stressful. People who do tango are so serious, you know?
Yeah, well, and, she was always telling me that everything that we weren't doing right was my fault, and the instructor kept whispering in my ear, I'm sorry, but you're doing great. It was
trying to follow, maybe. It's very
yeah,
hard
she didn't, and that's very hard.
Someone lead you.
And tango must be led, right? Far more than if you're doing like waltz or something, you can get pretty casual and kind of just go with it. But tango is so directed, and the moves are so dramatic that if someone's not in charge, it's just a train wreck.
That's absolutely true. But the people that I've learned to dance from say tango is the last dance you should learn because it is really specific and difficult, and you spend the first year learning how to walk.
Yeah, but it's so beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Oh my gosh, of all the dances, man, you get, a guy in those tight black pants they wear and the women with the black dresses with the slits and get them going on the dance floor. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But one of my big dreams is to go back to Buenos Aires and have a steak at one of the famous steak tango. I don't know if anyone knows this, but there's a big deal down there. There's a handful of restaurants where tango dancers are dancing and they bring in steaks. And, of course, Argentina is the capital of red meat in the world. This is I'm dying to go do this.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Sorry, Cheryl, come with us.
Yeah. The two of us can
we'll give you bacon. We'll translate,
Sounds like a plan. Well, guys, this has been.
And I promise I'll let you lead. I'm sorry, Dennis.
No, that's all right.
As she interrupts Dennis, she says, "I'll let you lead." Now, shut up. I'm talking.
I meant the tango. I meant for tango.
Oh, okay.
I have not gotten this old to know when a woman speaks to shut up. So, okay. We won't even go there. But anyway, So we've had a great show. Thank you all. We're going to run down the panel real quick. If you have anything else you'd like to share, and then we'll say our goodbyes for the day. But Rosie, so we're going to talk to you first. So is there anything you'd like us to know about that you're going to be doing shortly? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to be live streaming a show. I just have to pick my time, but yeah. So I'm going to just be doing like a 20-minute, like, answering questions. I actually call it CPR. So you're going to have your challenge, your possibility, and then your result. So anyone with food questions or health questions or anything that to do with that, that's what it's going to be.
So we'll make sure that we all tune in. Good. Yep. Sounds good. And we'll get you on all the calendars, too. So Mark can help you with that, and we'll get Mark Seidel involved, and he can add you in, too. So sounds good.
It was great to meet everybody. Really fun. I had a great time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Mark, anything new coming up on the horizon?
Let's see here. Well, I did just bring up a member website for the Sanctuary Networking community, so I've been dialing in all kinds of cool stuff for that, and I've been playing around with embedded stuff from Google Drive. So I'm trying to put together some cool information for maybe an upcoming HOA on that. Talk about all kinds of cool things you can do with those embeds, because I think that's one of the little secrets of Google Drive that a lot of people don't fool around with, but it makes things a lot easier. So I've been sharing little teasers. And yeah, you guys, if you have your HOA shows, invite plus HOA calendar, and that gets pushed through to Facebook, Twitter. There's a whole little chart actually I made. You can check it out. It gets pushed out quite a wide ways. So invite that, and I'll make sure to try to promote you as much as I can. There's a website for that too. So anyway, thank you, Dennis, for inviting me. It was great meeting all you guys. And
thank you, Maggie. Your Skinny Cocktail show's coming up. Anything else?
I have, tonight we have our show. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8. I guess it's 8 your time, right? And tomorrow at noon, I have another Cuentos de Nuestra Comida. That's the bilingual show. I'm making pirate kids food. So I'm doing I'm actually cooking. I won't be drinking. Even though I'm sure something rummish will show up at one point or another. Mommy juice, right? That's what I'm calling it.
Don't say that to the mommy bloggers, because mommy juice is something else there. So.
But that's it. You just follow me, my blog. There you go. That's me.
That's good. Dennis, too. What you got for us, buddy, besides your big production this weekend?
I got a couple of things. I've got a new client that we haven't finalized dates, but Cheryl, and I'm not going to say what it is, but Cheryl is going to start doing an HOA. Everyone has been begging hard for that. So, it's going to happen. Not sure how quickly, but it's in pre-production. And so, I think I'm going to just shout out that one. I always have like 50 things I'm working on, but that's the one that comes to mind right now.
Great. I wasn't sure if Cheryl did HOAs. I'd love to have her on, so we'll have to extend that invitation to her to come on Good Day.
It's kind of tough because she actually works as a nurse during the day. And because of what she specifically does, she's able to tune in and listen to the HOAs while she's doing other stuff. So the world thinks that she's just sitting around doing nothing all the time. Well, she just has HOAs on and from time to time jumps into the comments while she's really doing her job, which is running all of the equipment in the surgery center she works at. So getting her on HOAs is difficult, but not impossible. I'll tell her, because she's not here today because our power is out and she has the day off. But
if we can make it happen, I would love to.
I'll talk to her and we'll get back to you.
A live surgery HOA sounds like a winner.
Wouldn't that be cool?
In the back of my mind, I want to get connected with more doctors, but I don't know if actually surgery might be the way to do it. Depends on what kind of surgery it was, though.
Right.
If it was minor. So, all right, and BL, thank you so much for being here. And any, what's coming up? You got your show tomorrow.
Our show tomorrow, 12:30, on Google Plus and YouTube, the Beyond Social Media show. I hope you guys will watch.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be a little busy tomorrow, but I will make sure I catch the next one. And And as for me, tonight, if you join us, if you don't have anything to do, or even if you do and like to stop by and join us for, as I kick off the second annual Virtual Bloggers Conference, and Maggie will be there with a cocktail in hand. My sister Mia Voss should be there too. She shouted out earlier. She's been very busy as well. And we're going to have Heather Faye singing for us. And
Awesome.
She is just an angel. I'm so excited to have her on. And some other, anybody's around, we can invite you in and stop by, have a drink with us, share a cocktail, and help me kick off the show. Last year I wanted to have a keynote speaker and we couldn't find one, and we ended up having a cocktail party, and it was kind of fun. And you can share a picture of your cocktail if you have it, put it on the stream, and just talk with your friends. It's my virtual meet and greet like we do at a regular conference. And we'll be there. And then tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, we start live with our conference series. Every 2 hours, we'll be doing an hour conference on various blogging topics. And it runs till 8 o'clock at night as the last show. And then Sunday morning, we pick back up at 10 a.m. again. And we'll be going until 6 p.m. at night. So there's a total with the cocktail party of 12 sessions. It's absolutely free. If you don't see them live, they'll be on YouTube, so you can get a lot of really good information about different things that bloggers are doing. And it's not just food blogging, it's for all bloggers. And then Monday is Social Media Day, and we'll be having 3 that day, and Mia and I will be hosting a Social Media Day event at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if any of you are around would like to drop in, let me know, and we'll shoot you an invite. And we'll have some non-plussers on. People from Facebook and Twitter, dragging them over here to show them, the good side of social media.
Isn't that like mixing the Warlock and the Eli?
The F word.
What's that?
I said you said the F word.
I said the F word. No, it's a much better F word. Except I think if I was in a restaurant saying Facebook those things, just doesn't quite have the impact of the other F word. So, but in this land it is.
We'll bleep that out in post-production.
There you go. But yeah, so we'll be doing that to kind of promote some other people and get try and show some interest in other things. And then the Food and Booze show is going to have a whole new show, and we're going to be joining Susan Sarah and Kathleen DeCosmo as they dine at Carmine's in New York City. And
Italy.
yeah. So me and I will be eating our stale crackers and drinking our tea, watching them dive into some of those creations. And then we've got a wine tasting event at 7:30 for I forget what it is, the wine WITS 2014. I remember that because I made up the show earlier today. And we'll be sipping 6 different wines and talking about them. So Chef Dennis will be shit-faced by the end of that show. So there's no other way to say it, because I don't drink a whole lot, so that'll be interesting. So it's a busy weekend for me. So if you have any time to check out any of those, I would appreciate it. And that's it for Good Day Google Plus. So thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend, and if you're not doing anything else, then take some time to take in the fresh air and the sights. We'll see you all next week.
Thanks, Dennis.
Bye, everyone.